for example. And some of them are sorry they are free now. Some of them now would rather be slaves.
Which would you rather be, Uncle Phil?
Me? Which I'd rather be? You know what I'd rather do? If I thought that I'd ever be a slave again, I'd take a gun and just end it all right away.
I'm not really worried about convincing you about what I believe in. My main concern is to find people with the like-minded minds, like Minister, the Realist temple, the Reality's temple on earth. I can relate with that guy. I can say he's talking sense because he has intelligence and he doesn't come up with rubbish. He comes up with well thought conversations. He's thought about this. He's still thinking about it right now as we speak about it. And after that, he'll be thinking about it because he's a thinker. He's not just a doer taking information and repeating it. He's a thinker. He's been intrigued. His mind's been intrigued by reality, by things on earth that have woken him up. So enough respect to him. One of the greatest minds on YouTube who ain't got no establishment. I don't think. I don't know what he has or what he does, but the greatest minds sometimes don't have much, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't have much. I barely just got this in my head and a few things, no responsibilities though. So it's just about communicating this video. It's tricky. It's tricky. The minds of others have been living a way which is backwards or wrong from they could walk. And they got good at being backwards and wrong and believing that backwards and wrongness. So when you talk about rightfulness and forwardness, they think it is nonsense because they've never worked on those lines. So yeah, that came out alright. Usually it depends with communicating. It's a battle, so either you win and you do it well and it comes out perfect, or it's like you're just clashing with swords and you're not really getting what's in your head out to the world to understand. But where's that drink? Big up to the ministry, the minister, whatever his name is, Angel Nut 7. Yeah, I really enjoyed your videos, man. They're a bit long though.
In the name of my ancestors, peace, Father, and always, and welcome to another edition of the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. Of course, I'm the gatekeeper of this particular program, known here on YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, MySpace, and perhaps many other places as the mighty Angel Snub 7. I am your brother and hopefully your friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. I would like to just take a few moments and thank you so much for honoring me with your precious time, because I'm pretty sure you could be doing something much more enjoyable probably than listening to a nobody like me. But since you gave me this opportunity, before you change your mind, I would like to just speak with you on this particular topic, and I hope that you give me feedback. The subject that I've chosen for this particular video is the making of a hypocrite. What is a hypocrite? Now, most of us know when we say hypocrite, most times we relate hypocrisy or the hypocrite to religious ideology. If you join a religion and then you decide to leave that religion, those of whom you leave behind, they get angry and upset, and they call the person who once belonged to that particular religious belief system a hypocrite. And hypocrisy is viewed as something very shameful, because if you leave a particular religious belief system, it is taught that you never believed in that belief to begin with. And so you are ostracized, you are viewed as an enemy, and some of us are hated, and some of us could end up like Malcolm X, who once belonged to the Nation of Islam, called a hypocrite, and then he was later murdered. And this is how much he was hated, being called a hypocrite. They actually applauded. People was happy to know that a man was murdered who was unarmed and in front of his wife and children. These people hate you so much because you left their religion that murder brings them joy. But the person who has the sickness is the so-called hypocrite. Explain that one to me. According to my own very minimal research in the origins of hypocrisy or hypocrite, as you know, in the founding of this nation, that females, the woman was not allowed to do not too much outside of domestic housework, raising of the children, gardening, things that's called woman's work. So in the early stages of the building of this nation, women could not, or the female could not be actors. There was no such thing as an actress. Women were not allowed to be an actress. So males dressed up as women to perform the characters that were supposed to be female. Thus comes the word hypocrite, because you had a man on stage pretending to be a woman, something that he was not. So a hypocrite really is a person on a stage or in a house pretending to be somebody they are not. A hypocrite does not leave the house. Hypocrites stay in the house. Now, there are those, because I left the Nation of Islam, or I left the Christian church, wherever I left, I said I believed. Well, this is one thing for sure. When I was a Christian person, not only did I believe, I practiced that faith almost 100%. Ain't no doubt about that. Anybody who knew me as a Christian person can vouch for that. And anybody in the Nation of Islam that was around me, when I was in that temple, in that mosque, there's no way nobody could tell me I was not a practicing Muslim. I obeyed the restrictive laws given to us by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad 1000%. So I believed. But then there comes a time when you realize that you no longer feel the way you used to feel. I don't view Christianity as a place that I want to be. So I went from Christianity to Islam. Then from Islam became a place where I decided that's not where I want to be. So I left the Christian church and I left the Muslim mosque or temple. Hypocrites stay in the mosque, they stay in the church, pretending to be something they are not. When I realized I was no longer a Christian person, when I realized I was not of Islam, I was no longer a Muslim in that type of description, then I left. Hypocrites stay and pretend to be something that they are not. Why was I a Christian? I was a Christian because Christianity was forced on black people in this nation as long as we've been here. Forced on slaves. So I was born into Christianity. I didn't have no choice. And I was told that God was real. I did not know that God was a belief. And when I went to Islam, they told me God was real. They did not tell me these were belief systems. They did not tell me these was something that you had to believe. It was nothing really factual about it. I did not know. So I went into Christianity as an ignorant person, and I went into Islam as an ignorant person. So when I realized that there were certain facets and things that I was not told, it's just like buying a car. Somebody tell you about this car. Then when you actually start driving the car, you find out this car don't have power steering. You said this car's supposed to have automatic brakes. This car don't have none of the things that you claim it's supposed to be. So I found out there was flaw in Christianity. I found out the flaw in error in Islam. So I left. Hypocrites stay in the house. If I was a hypocrite, I would have stayed in the church talking about how I love Jesus, and in reality, I don't love nobody. If I was a hypocrite, I would have stayed there praising and brown-nosing Louis Farrakhan. But in reality, I didn't believe in him or the faith of none of that. Hypocrites stay so they can destroy the belief system. I did not stay because I could care less if the religious belief system lives or dies. It is not for me, and I'm gone. So when a person leaves the religious belief system, those of whom you leave behind, many of them become hate-filled. First of all, they hate you because now you've placed more work on them. That's one of the reasons why they hate you. We need some more people to help us do this. Dog, we lost one, so they hate you because of that. And they call you a hypocrite to try to make you feel bad about thinking for yourself, doing what you feel is good for you. That shoe no longer fits. It might fit you. And as time goes on, I've seen people go into church, leave the church, go into the temple, into the mosque. The same people that's calling people hypocrites, they go in and out. And that's a sign of real hypocrites because you're trying to be something that you're not. I don't believe in God. Why should I be in a Christian church or in the temple when I no longer believe in God? Period. They want you to feel as though you made a mistake leaving the church or the mosque. But when you see these people's behavior, the real them comes out. Hate-filled, violent, arrogant, grandiose. You should be happy that you left the church and the mosque. Who wants to be around these fakers? Because really, that church and that mosque is nothing but a trap and a house of the hypocrite. When I was in the church, when I was in the mosque, I really was a believer. But see, I didn't know I was surrounded by hypocrites. Because see, talk is cheap Action speaks. I'm man enough, and you should be woman enough. If that shoe no longer fits you, then you have the right as a self-thinking person. Religion do not want us to think for ourselves. It wants to make a slave out of you and control how you think, what you do. I'm not your slave. I'm not going to be a slave to racist Caucasian people, and I'm not going to be a slave to God or some church or some mosque. I'd rather be dead than a slave to anybody. Those days are over. So you can call me a hypocrite, but I'm not in your house. You can call me anything you want to. I'm not in your house. You better watch out for yourself and those in your house pretending to be what you believe they are, and they are not. It was hypocrites that destroyed the nation of Islam. That's a known fact. And your greatest hypocrites have their own versions of the nation of Islam as we speak. And you brown nosing and praising them, and they even admit they was hypocrites. How dare you try to judge what and who I am? Hypocrites, stay in the house. Those who are true, leave, because the shoe no longer fits. Let's talk about it. Jot down your comments. This is your brother Taalik, Ibn'rad. This was and is the Realist Temple on earth. In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. Of course, I am the gatekeeper of this particular program, known here on YouTube, Vimeo, Facebook, and Daily Motion, and a whole lot of other stuff around the internet. I'm known as the mighty. Where my sword at? Angel Snubbed Up 7. I am your brother. And hopefully your friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. As many of you know, and I am not ashamed to say, because what happened to me happens to many of us. In fact, regardless of race, in this nation, innocent people go to jail, they go to prison, mental institutions, they find themselves incarcerated. So I've told that story about how I have been or was unjustly incarcerated. Many of you know this story. And the reason of why I can speak with you right now is because I refuse to give up. Even though it was hopeless. I cried almost every day looking through glass and steel, wanting my freedom. It was hopeless because my tormentors, my oppressors told me if I did not submit to their lies, if I did not submit to their evil, their deceit, they would hold me the rest of my life. And they told me without their help, without their approval, I would die in an insane asylum. Because nobody has ever left the insane asylum without their approval in over 100 years. I'm going to say that again because I don't believe you heard me. Nobody left that institution where they had me incarcerated and trapped. Nobody left there without their approval in the manner of which they deemed fit for over 100 years. That is as long as that place has been in existence 100 years. But brothers and sisters, having faith in myself, having faith in the time. I didn't know exactly how it was going to happen, and it took years. But I knew in my heart I was going to prove these devils a lie. So during my incarceration, I was able to accomplish two impossible things. Of course, the greatest impossible thing was to free myself by learning the law, by understanding psychiatry, understanding the situation that I was in. Once I did that, I began to file legal motions to the court without a public defender. I did things that other people never done to these demons before. I filed restraining orders against them. I filed civil lawsuits against all the staff in the facility, from the cooks to the cleaning crew, everybody. I was suing everybody. I sued the judge. That never happened to them before. And they held on me. They held on to me for dear life, but there was nothing they could do. Because I no longer was illiterate and ignorant of my situation. They knew that their 100-year run was over. So what they called the impossible, I indeed accomplished. Then prior to that, I was telling them that these clients, these so-called patients, they need to stick together in order to get the justice. They said that we earned our own rights and privileges. We did not even get the rights and privileges that these demons said that we have. They treated us like animals. In fact, there was one day we was getting ready to go to lunch, and one of those evil nurses came out the back and told one of those up under his supervision, will you get them animals ready for lunch? And I heard it. And I told that devil, how dare you call us animals? He didn't think nobody heard him. I didn't. Oh, you're a lie. I heard you clearly. And this nurse, you heard him too. She's going to pretend like she didn't hear anything. This was a person I thought I was cool with. There are people you think that you cool with. The bottom line is they are not as cool as you think they are. So I knew I had to watch out for her, because I know darn well he was talking to her. I didn't hear him call y'all no animal. You a lie. Surrounded by liars. And I told them beasts, if only these mental patients, these insane people could get together and make you earn your money. Oh, you can't do that. These people are retarded. They're insane. They got all these problems, dope fiends or whatever. And when I first began to reach out to those who were incarcerated with me, they really didn't respond, because they were comfortable like you are living in America. They're comfortable with their candy and their cookies and their soda pop and smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee all day. But pretty soon, they start taking these privileges away. Pretty soon, these clients began to see how they were being cheated. And I continue to remind them that we are seen as animals. And we would have our own little meetings. And I told these clients, are you an animal? Do you deserve to be treated like you subhuman? People coming in here looking down on you like you trash? So one day, these devils come in and think the day is going to be like normal. And the clients united with my voice. I I became our spokesperson. And I began to show them our rights and our privileges by law. Give it to us, or I will write to court and send a complaint and have this place investigated for negligence and mistreatment. Oh man, wow. I did the impossible. I got mental patients, so-called crazy people together in order for us to fight and stand up for our rights. Now you tell me that was impossible. But here I come once I get free and come out into the so-called conscious community. Y'all don't want to be free. You're not supposed to be crazy. You're not supposed to be insane. You live in delusions. Some of y'all believe that one day, from out of nowhere, from the 40 to 70 million black people in this country, you think all of a sudden they're going to wake up one day and say, wow, Nation of Islam people was right. Let me go to them. Oh, Sarah Sudan City was right. Let me go to Sarah Sudan City. Let me go to Natural Tuhuri. Let me go to Sanetta. Let me go to Brother Larry. Let me go to Brother Polite. Y'all think they just gonna wake up one day and follow behind y'all? That's not how it's gonna work. It's gonna work the same way as it would if you were trying to form a neighborhood watch. Everybody in your neighborhood is different, but you have one goal: to watch the neighborhood. You want black liberation? It don't make no difference what you think. Some of y'all can't separate your damn religion, your damn political thought from the task at hand. The task at hand is black unity, black unification for the purpose of black liberation, to get free from these damn devils. Y'all stupid. Woo! Man, I wanna. Woo! You hold yourself back. Want everybody to follow you. And if they did follow you, what you gonna do with the people? It's 40 to 70 million black people in this country. Oh, I'm going to the Nation of Islam. I'm going to the Hebrew Israelite nation. You got 40 to 70 million people coming knocking at your door. You can't do nothing with the people you got now. What you gonna do with 40 to 70 million? Because it's gonna take all of us who are awakened in order to deal with 40 to 70 million people. Everybody got their opportunity to be Mr. Big Shot, Mr. Big Leader. Y'all damn fools. You stupid. So you're in this cage. You don't have no more sense than insane people. Supposed to be crazy people. Retarded elderly people. What is your problem? Your problem is you are like those clients. You want your soda pop. You want your cookies and your candy and your cigarettes and your weed, because some of y'all admit you smoke weed. And I know some of y'all probably do crack too. You have to compromise your position in order to accomplish the ultimate overall task. You rather have these Uncle Tom, Sambos, and Dark Europeans. You continue to let them lead our people in the wrong direction because you too damn selfish and greedy in order to work with your brother to take our people into the right direction. You should be ashamed of yourself. And y'all really are the ones who are insane, retarded. You should be able to learn a lesson from those that I work with. They have more sense than you do. Sell yourself out for some damn cookies. Woo! Jot down your comment, brothers and sisters. Let's talk about it. This is the Angel Snubbed Up 7. This was and is the Realist Temple on Earth. Man, just was getting good. In the name of my ancestors. Peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. Of course, I am the gatekeeper of this particular program, known here on YouTube, Daily Motion, Vimeo, MySpace, and perhaps many other locations on the what we call the World Wide Web, known here as the mighty Angel Snub 7. I am your brother, and hopefully your friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. It is so wonderful. And since I've had this awakening, since I become enlightened outside of the spirit of what we call religious or spiritual teachings, after this second awakening, I feel so good, because once you relieve yourself of these religious belief systems, then you begin to learn who you are. You're no longer trying to be Jesus. You're no longer trying to be Muhammad. You're not even trying to be like God. You're seeking to understand who and what you are as an individual yourself. You begin to think and look at the world for yourself. Regardless if that view is correct or incorrect, it is who you are. And you begin to love and cherish the life that you've been, as the religion say, been blessed with. So self-thought is actually freedom when you begin to think for yourself, not trying to copy, not trying to be a clone of somebody else. You are who you are, and that what makes this world a beautiful place, that even though we can come from the same species, we are different. The idea of sex comes from up out of nature to bring us variety. If the universe, if the creation wanted life to be the same, it would have continued in a clone state where cells just split, making an exact copy of that which it split from. But we are different individuals, different ways of thinking, different ways of seeing things, look different, physically different. And that what makes this life wonderful, because we are different. How boring it would be if all of us was the same. And there are those who actually want us to be the same, dress the same, think the same, clones of one another. A true father, if God is a true father, God does not want us to be like him or her. God wants his children to express themselves in the manner they deem fit. Should you want to be a carpenter, should you want to be a police officer, should you want to be a teacher, whatever it is what your parents were, that's fine and dandy. But since life was given to you, then you should determine the destiny of that life, nobody else. And when something determines the destiny of another life, that's what you call slavery. And that life benefits that which caused it to be enslaved. And I do not wish nobody to come unto this ministry and come to me and never accuse me of trying to make a slave out of you. You can come into this house and at any time you can leave, because there are no slaves here. And I don't view your leaving as right or wrong. I won't call you no hypocrite or no traitor or no Judas. You decided to think for yourself and move in the direction you felt which was most beneficial to your life. A life I did not give you. And some of us would say God gave us life. There is no evidence that any God gave you anything, but one thing is for sure, you have been given a life for a brief period of time, and for that brief period of time, you should be able to do how you feel with your life, not based on what some sucker wants. I want you to be a Christian. I want you to be a Muslim. I want you to be a Democrat. I want you to be a Republican. I want to be what I want to be. I might choose not to be none of the aforementioned. My choice, not yours. Why? Because I'm not your slave. So this brings me to another point that is in relation to religious theology or ideology. In religion, we are taught that God is love. We are taught that God is just. So for the next 6 minutes, let us, since we are self-thinking people who come to this ministry, let us examine how loving and how just religious teaching describe and make God to be. I would like to give an example from the Muslim book of faith called the Holy Quran, the 103rd chapter, and it reads like this: in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. By the time, surely man is in loss, except those who believe and do good and enjoin another to truth and enjoin another to patience. Now, as a self-thinking person, that small statement raises flags and questions. It says, by the time, surely man is in loss, except those who believe. So the question is raised, what happens to the ones who don't believe? And what is it that we should be believing in? And why should we believe if there are facts available? There is no reason to believe in nothing if you have facts. If you believe, then you're trusting that the information that you're giving could be right, could be wrong. There are no facts to support it, because if there was facts to support it, there would be no need to believe. It continues to say, except those who believe and do good, and enjoin another to truth, and enjoin another to patience. What truth are you talking about? The truth that you have to believe in, or that truth that which is factual? You want me to believe in Jesus, and Jesus walked on physical water? That's your truth. But in our reality, dealing from a factual nature, we know that there is no man on this planet without some kind of help can walk on water. That is not true. But you say, enjoin another to truth. But you don't want to accept the truth. You would rather believe and say that Jesus physically walked on water. And then another faith says that spaceships are going to come up the sky and destroy our enemies. You have to believe in that, because that's yours supposed to be truth, but there's no facts to support it. That's why you have to believe in it. We have yet to see a UFO and examine that UFO, and black men are in the spaceship ready to destroy America. That's what you believe. There's no factual evidence to support what you believe, but that's your truth. So what actually is this saying? It's saying those who don't believe in these truths that are not supported by facts, you are in loss. Those who don't believe have a problem. How is it that I'm the one who has the problem? I'm not the one looking for spaceship. I'm not the one looking for virgin babies being born, babies born from virgins, and burning bushes that talk, and snakes that talk, and all and people that lived in a tribe and 76 trillion years ago, and we don't even have any records of anything from 76 trillion years and all these fantasy stories. I have the problem because I refuse to believe these things that have no factual evidence and support no type of factual base. So what happens to me if I do good, do unto others as I would have them do unto me? I believe in truth, real truth. Has nothing to do with belief. And I am patient with the ignorant and the illiterate. I'm passed over. So if I'm passed over because I don't believe, except those who believe, then how is this God just? How is this God fair? And then this God, you know why I reject those things. But you want to punish me? Although I'm doing good and everything else that you say? Where's the fairness? Then those who are believers in God, look how self-righteous and arrogant and grandiose they are. They believe they are better than those who seek facts and accept their reality. They become grandiose, and they will attack you with their holy book where the Bible said this and the Bible said that, and they hate you for not believing. In fact, they will kill you for not believing what they believe and not doing good and enjoying the truth and being patient as they feel deemed fit. But at the same time, look at their actions. Who's the most sinners that you ever can see? People that believe in some God, they are the ones causing the wars and creating the most sin. So tell me, how is religion, how is God fair and just? How are you representing love and peace? It is all false. That's your imagination. That's something you believe because Lord knows history verified is not true. Thank you for listening. Jot down your comment. Let's talk about it. This is your brother Taalik Ibn'rad. This was and is the Realist Temple on earth.
Good morning. This is Judy, Grandma Judy. That little head you see in the bed there with her father, he's at a Hilton hotel. It's about 4:30 in the morning, and he's up making a filthy video with about this lady who has the enlarged buttocks, and she's being held for murder. I think her name is Pebbles. And you see the child is moving around. So that means that the child is really listening. She's 7 years old. It's a little bit about Sotomayor. He's the one who thinks, who writes all the videos and thinks that dark-skinned black women and black women in particular cause him all kind of problems and everything like that. I have never flagged one of his videos, but if you say anything to him, Mr. Tony Sotomayor has a lot of different names that he'll have them write you back and use all the profanity in the world at you, call you all the thises and that's and this. Well, you know how grandma rolls, because I have my age down there. See the baby moving up and moving around? I want you to go to that video. And he's got this on the screen. If the child looks up, would just wake up, this is what the child would see if the child would wake up and just look at the screen. He's in a hotel room with her. But, you know, even at hotels, he could have got a smaller cot and put her on the other side of the room, and he could have had the bed for himself. But here he is in bed with his 7-year-old daughter. My husband, he died when our daughter was 7, but he would have never got in a hotel room with my daughter. If anyone was going to be in the room or in the bed with my daughter, it would be me. And even me, when she got a certain age, she wanted to sleep by herself.
Like this woman is playing. Now you're playing, it's one thing to battle on YouTube with someone, but then when you start attacking their family and you trying to destroy their family, talking about child protective. Listen, I don't know Tommy Sotomayor, I just know him from on here, and from what little I know of him, okay, the man is doing an excellent job with his daughter. How many black men do you know that's out there taking care of their daughter? Single parent dads. There's quite a few single parent dads out there. You just don't hear about them. But here you got a single parent dad out there that's trying to raise his daughter the best way he know how. You know, and because of the fact he's got an opinion of these lame black women that exist in these days and time, she got an issue with that. Now, I watched a couple of her videos and she's talking about perms and how she was perming her hair. It cut her to her heart, man. She couldn't stand it. You know, and then she talked about this little girl's head, talking about her hair was braided, you know, and all this other nonsense. So, I used to always hear this saying when I was coming up, that God takes care of old folks and fools. You understand? And you wonder why a lot of bad things happen to seniors. Okay? Now, we get mad when we hear about things on the news where somebody, you know, rob a senior or beat a senior or kill a senior or something like that, because a lot of them probably don't even deserve it. Okay? But there are cases like this when you start attacking someone's family and you're using that negative energy, man, to try to tear a family apart, and you start putting it out there in the wind that someone ought to contact Child Protective about this man in the hotel in the bed with his daughter with naked pictures on the screen. Listen, you a senior, and there's no telling what you did in your life. There's quite a few, plenty black women that I know of that had sex in the same bed that they had their little children in. Okay, they were having sex. Just look on YouTube and scan these videos and you will see grown black women teaching their daughters, their little babies, how to pop their behinds on screen. And how many people are calling Child Protective Service for nonsense like that? That's who you should be going after. As a matter of fact, you should be thanking and applauding Tommy Sotomayor for even speaking on a lot of issues. Because if you look at the black females now, in this day and time, that your generation had raised, they're off the chain, man. Look at these girls out here getting pregnant. He talks about that. You know, why not? This is insane. You know, when I watched this video, I didn't watch the whole of the video because, you know, Tommy's got his battles. You know, he had his battle with a few other people. There's people out there that don't like him. And then you get these women that try to get other guys to go after Tommy Sotomayor. And then they try to get the white dudes involved to go after Tommy Sotomayor. You know, a lot of black men are losing their lives behind black women. Okay, because you got scandalous. And unfortunately, right now, this is a senior citizen. You got scandalous women, even black senior citizens, that will set you up. And see, right now, she's putting it out there in the wind. She's got no business attacking this man's daughter like that, as old as she is. So I have a big problem with that. And I got a message for her. Lady, listen, I don't know you, don't know anything about you. I saw a video with your face in it. You know, to me, you look like Madam.
And she has to come to channels about me. But that ugly bitch you just saw, her name is ACA JUDI100 on YouTube. Now here's why I say fuck with her, and I hope she falls out and has a heart attack in front of her computer, because this is the problem with a lot of old black bitches. They're the worst people ever, and evil never dies. Evil never sleeps. This bitch has no man. This bitch has no life. What 70-year-old do you know personally who's putting up videos on YouTube? Seriously, think about it. This is what you get from black women. This is why they die old and alone, and this is why they live to be 1,000, because evil never dies. Notice that your old ass grandmama that be real old was a bitch to everybody. A black bitch just won't die. They cut her foot off, they cut her damn toes off, they cut her pinky off, because all she do is eat hog maws and chitlins. The bitch will still be living, fucking with people on her front porch, being nosy, looking to see what somebody else is doing, calling the fucking police. Well, this actor Judy, who that ain't your real name, Judy. That ain't your real name, Judy. This old bitch has stalked me. She made a video about my child, doing the same crap that black women do. What'll happen if your daughter gets 40 and sucks a dick on television? Why would you ask me that? Come back in 34 years and ask me that, you dumb bitch. What'll happen if your daughter gets up and gets a wave? Y'all love weed that much that y'all go around fucking with other people's kids about it? Really? You love weed that fucking much? But this old bitch made this video and said in the video, well, I'm not going to call defects, but somebody else might. Basically letting the world know, call defects. So fine. She was saying that it was nasty for a father to be in the bed with his 6-year-old. And let me tell you something. I was 10 years old, and I would still go run and get in the bed with my father and my stepfather and my mom. What 6-year-old do you know doesn't sleep with their parents? My daughter, when she's at her mother's house, has her own room. She runs in the room with her mother.
In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of the Realist Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. Of course, I am the gatekeeper of this particular program, known here on YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, Facebook, and many other places I probably don't even know anything about, because y'all do a good job of trying to spread the message. Thank you so much. But I'm known here on the internet as the mighty Angel Snuff 7. I am your brother and hopefully your friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. I would like to comment and offer, as always, respectful, civil critique on the actions or the opinion of our brother, Minister Louis Farrakhan. There are those who believe that Brother Farrakhan is above scrutiny, that Brother Farrakhan is above reproach. And these persons, because they have become fanatical, and when a person becomes a fan, when a person becomes fanatical, the ones of whom they direct their fanaticism, is that a word? Fanaticism? The ones upon they direct their fanaticism upon, they can do no wrong. You can hardly find a Michael Jackson fan that believes Michael Jackson has done anything in his life wrong. Now, those who know me know that I am a Michael Jackson fan. I love Michael Jackson. But they will tell you quickly that I'm not the type of Michael Jackson fan that cannot see his error, his flaw. When Michael Jackson was accused of pedophilia back in 1993, when he went through all that madness, he should have left those little children alone. I do not agree with Michael sleeping with young children being over 40 years old. I love your music, Michael. I don't and cannot approve of that type of behavior, especially in this world. You might do this and it is all innocent, but you know what type of world we live in. So it is best, if you wish to stay out of trouble, then it is best, and you also know that the people around you